Good day everyone. In this video lecture, I shall give you a brief introduction to inverters. Contents that I am going to cover in this session are as follows. Firstly, we shall see necessity of inverter, followed by classification of inverters. So we focus on four basic classification of inverters: line commutator inverter versus force commutator inverters, voltage source inverters versus current source inverters, thyristor based voltage source inverters against the transistor based voltage source inverters, bridge series or parallel inverters. So why inverters? First let us see the definition of inverter. The inverter is a circuit that converts DC power into AC power at desired voltage and frequency. So this is the definition of inverter. Okay, so now this is the block diagram of the inverter. You can see input side we have DC supply, so that can be from solar photovoltaic system, battery or rectifier. Output side we have a load, AC load, so which may require constant voltage or constant frequency type power, or variable voltage, constant frequency type, or variable voltage and variable frequency. So there is a mismatch between the source availability and load requirement. Load require AC power, where source side we have the DC power available. So inverter can bridge this mismatch between source and the load. Okay. So in order to match the bridge between source availability and load requirement, we need inverter. Okay, so inverter is a circuit that converts DC power into AC power at desired voltage and desired frequency. Now how can you have this desired voltage and desired frequency? By controlling the switches that are present in this inverter. So for that you should design a control circuit. Control circuit provide control signal to all the switches that are present in the inverter, so as to control the output voltage and output frequency. So output voltage and output frequency can be controlled so that they are exactly at desired values, so as to meet the load requirement. Okay. So this is about the inverter. Why inverter? Okay, this is a necessity of inverter. Now let us see the classification of inverters. The first one, line commutator inverter versus forced or self-commutated inverters. So line commutator inverters, so basically they are phase controlled rectifiers operated in inverting mode. So we have seen in chapter number 1, whenever phase controlled rectifier is operated with alpha greater than 90 degrees, so then the power would be supplied from DC side to AC side. So that particular converter is referred to as line commutated inverter. Okay, it would be operated in inverting mode because so power is from DC side to AC side. So that kind of operation is referred to as inverting mode operation. Now what is the advantage? Advantage is that there is no separate commutation is required. Generally in phase controlled rectifiers we use SCRs, silicon controlled rectifiers, which are semi-controlled switches. We can turn on semi-controlled switches, that are SCRs, by applying gate signal, but turn off process is quite difficult. So we need to have a separate separate computation circuit in order to turn off the SCR. But in case of phase control rectifiers, we need not have separate computation circuit. So that would happen naturally. Current becomes zero and reverse voltage would be applied immediately after that. So there would be some time provided by the circuit for SCR to switch off. So circuit turn off time usually greater than device turn off time. So computation process happens naturally. So that kind of circuits are known as line commutated converters, and if that line commutated converter is operated in inverting mode, so that is known as line commutated inverter. But we should ensure that a AC supply is available at the output terminals, because power supply is from DC to AC. So that converter, so input is DC and output is AC. So we should have existing AC supply. We should have existing AC supply. So simply if you have passive load at the output side, that is AC side, then so this kind of operation is not possible. So basically whenever grid is connected to that AC side, so this kind of operation is possible. Line commutated inverting mode operation is possible. Okay, so this is one of the disadvantage. We must have a existing AC supply that may be grid. The next type that is force or self-completed inverters. So basically, so input side we are going to have DC, and output side we can have any load. So need not be AC supply existing at output side. You can have passive elements also. So because of this particular feature, they are more popular and they have wider applications, much wider applications. So force completed inverters have much wider applications. So and they can provide an independent AC output voltage. So in case of line commutated inverters, so output side we have existing AC supply. So the output voltage must be equal to the existing supply voltage. So there is no control over the output AC voltage in case of line commutated inverters. But in force commutated inverters, input side we are going to have DC, and output side voltage can be controlled by applying proper control signal. So this due to this particular advantage, they are very popular and they have wider applications. Okay. And next classification is voltage source inverters and current source inverters. So as I mentioned earlier, voltage source inverters. So voltage source inverters will have a stiff DC voltage source at input terminals. So as shown in this particular figure, input side we are going to have a stiff DC voltage input side. When it comes to the current source inverters, input side we are going to have a stiff current source. Okay, how can we realize that current source? So we know, so DC current source can also be realized by using this voltage source in combination with a series large inductance. Now you can see DC voltage source in series with large inductance. So we'll ensure that input current is stiff. Okay, so this is this is the basic difference. So input side we are going to have stiff DC voltage for voltage source inverter, and for current source inverter we have stiff DC current. In this particular voltage source inverter, output voltage and frequency can be controlled by control signal. So now output side, the voltage and frequency you can control. But what about the current? Current depends on the load. So if it is R load, RL load, based on the load condition, output current may be, I mean, that may depend, that depends on the output voltage. But output voltage can be controlled. Output voltage and current can be controlled. Output voltage and frequency can be controlled, and current can be so current expression or current wave shape can be obtained by mathematical calculation. So simply by applying basic laws, you can find out what is the current. So current depends on the load. Now in current source inverters, the output current and frequency can be controlled. Now current and frequency can be controlled using control signal, but voltage, that depends on the load again. So based on the load type, voltage would vary. Okay, you can calculate them. And in voltage source inverters, usually output voltage can be controlled by using PWM control technique. So PWM control is more common in voltage source inverters. So in PWM control technique, we use it to turn on and off switches at high frequency. Switching frequency of switches that are used in PWM inverters are very, very high. So we require fast acting switches like MOSFET and IGBT. We know switching frequency of MOSFET is high, and then so for IGBTs also it is high, and BJT and SCRs we cannot operate them at high frequency. When it comes to current source inverters, usually current source inverters uses thyristors. So they are also thyristor based. We have thyristor based current source inverters. they are more common in use. So in current source inverter, we don't use PWM control. Okay, so PWM control is not common in current source inverters. Because of this limitation, like we can use MOSFETs and IGBTs, which are relatively low power devices when compared to thyristors or BJTs. So voltage source inverters are used for low power applications, so in the range of few tens of megawatts. Of course, nowadays we are going for multi-level inverters where we can use low power rating switches in series or parallel, so that we can achieve high power also using voltage source inverters. But that concept is out of the scope of this course. The basic inverters, basic level inverters, which we are going to learn in this particular course, so they are limited to, they have low power applications like few tens of megawatts. Coming to the current source inverters, so they can be used for high power applications, but at low switching frequency. At low switching frequency, you can go for high power applications in the range of few megawatts. Of power rating. So the applications of these current source inverters, we find them in power systems where we need to handle high power ratings. Applications of voltage source inverters, so adjustable speed AC drives, induction heating, UPS, active rectifiers, reactive power, reactive current compensation, harmonic current compensation, and so on. Okay, and coming to the applications of the current source inverters, so large capacity motor drives, HVDC transmission. So you can see from these applications that the voltage source inverters, so they can be used for the relatively low power applications when compared to current source inverters. So current source inverters, they are used in power systems. You can see HVDC transmission is one of the major application. And one of the important point that is to be noted with respect to the difference between voltage source inverter and current source inverter is shoot through. Now you can see here in this voltage source inverter, so this kind of circuit diagram we are going to have. Now, so we have two switches. Now this is a circuit diagram. This is a circuit diagram of the half bridge single phase voltage source inverter. Now, for example, we have two switches, S1 and S2. Okay, so usually C1 and C2 are very large, so we are going to have stiff voltage. So we are going to have stiff DC voltage input side. Now, by any chance, this S1 and S2 are turned on at a time, for example. Okay, usually we need to avoid this. Okay, we avoid this kind of particular situation. But by any malpractice, so switch S1 and S2 both are closed, what would happen? So there would be a large circulating current flow through these switches. Okay, so which may lead to damage. So large circulating current flow through switches, which may lead to damage of the circuit elements, because the current that is flowing through switches or any other elements, especially source and the switches. So the current is more than the corresponding current ratings, so which may lead to damage. So this particular situation is referred to as shoot through. Okay, so there is a dead short circuit possible with respect to voltage source inverter. So this is known as shoot through. There is possibility of shoot through. So this you must provide some protection circuit. We should provide external protection to avoid this kind of shoot through. Okay. This is about the voltage source inverter. Coming to current source inverter, you can see input side we have large inductance. Even there is any short circuit with respect to the switches that are used in the inverter. So because of this large inductance, current is going to be limited. There is no possibility of dead short circuit. There is no possibility of shoot through. So there is no requirement of external protection in case of current source inverters. Okay, so these are the difference between voltage source inverter and current source inverter. Now next classification is thyristor based voltage source inverter and transistor based voltage source inverters. So based on the type of semiconductor switch that is used, we can classify into these two categories. In case if we use thyristor for realization of voltage source inverter, that is known as thyristor based voltage source inverter. In case if you use transistor as a switch, then that is referred to as transistor based voltage source inverter. So this way you can classify voltage source inverters into two categories. Okay, in case thyristor based voltage source inverter, so we require force commutation. Because thyristors are semi-control switches. Turn-off process requires some external circuit which is known as force commutation circuit. And thyristors are slow switching frequency devices. So we can operate these thyristor based voltage source inverters with limited switching frequency. Switches cannot be operated at high frequency. So PWM control cannot be employed effectively. So voltage control, wide range of voltage control may not be possible with thyristor based voltage source inverters. So they require load or force commutation. So these voltage source inverters are rarely used. In fact, in power system applications we use current source inverters, but these voltage source inverters based on thyristor switches or thyristor based voltage source inverters are rarely used. Coming to transistor based voltage source inverters, so there are self commutated inverters. So there is no external commutation circuit is required. Okay, so because there is no external commutation circuit required, so cost is less, complexity is reduced, and reliability of operation also more, and also the size and cost would reduce because of this particular advantage. And moreover, transistors can be operated at high frequency relatively when compared to thyristors. So we can go for high switching frequency. So PWM control can be employed effectively in order to have the control over the output voltage. So this is the major advantage. In fact, so these are very popular transistor based voltage source inverters. In fact, IGBT based voltage source inverters are very popular. So even in power system applications also, by using several transistors in series or parallel, we can achieve high power rating. So usually transistors, when compared to thyristors, so they are low power rating switches. But so we know, like by connecting switches in series or in parallel, we can improve the voltage rating or current rating. So that way we can. So nowadays, so transistor based voltage source inverters are also used in high power applications. So one of the major advantages is, so we can use the PWM control to achieve to have control over the output voltage and frequency. Output voltage and frequency can be controlled. The next one, so next classification is bridge, series or parallel inverters. So classification of inverters from viewpoint of connection of semiconductor devices, we can have this class. So we have this kind of types, this classification, that is bridge inverter, series inverters, parallel inverters. Of course, we are not going to discuss this particular topic in detail. So this is out of the scope. So our major focus in this chapter is on voltage source inverters, and then so I shall also give you brief introduction to current source inverter. Okay, yeah. So in next class we shall discuss the quality of inverters. So once you know the operation and analysis of the inverter, you should also know how to evaluate its performance, the quality. Okay, how it is qualitative, how it is giving qualitative performance. So that is very important. We shall see what are the parameters which can be used to evaluate performance of the inverters. Okay, thank you.